Peace, brothers and sisters. This is Talk Black to Me. I am Sister Freedom, and I have my co-host here again, Brother Haru, who will be with us forever.
Right.
We are here tonight, and Brother Haru, do you want to reintroduce yourself?
Yes,
Okay.
my name is Brother Haru Bey. I represent the conscious community and uplifting number of people. Peace and love, family.
Okay. Well, looks like we put the last session that we had with ISUPK on YouTube. We had 2,600, in I think 3 or 4 days, 2,600 and some odd looks. And I don't know how many hating comments that we had. Okay, let's go with this. Audience, we understand. We understand why we are in the mental position that we're in. Do you agree, Brother Haru?
Yes.
What we're going to attempt to do is explain to you why we did not agree with the religious part that ISUPK could offer our young men and women here in the city of Wilmington. Not to mention, because they are from out of the state of Delaware, and we have enough problems here with our young people that we don't want anyone coming in the city and bringing more havoc, because they have a tendency of the yelling, the screaming, the disrespect, the calling names, and this particular thing. So that's the reason why I wanted them here, okay, if that was not the situation. And we wanted them here, because we discussed this before bringing them on the show, to ask them what it was that they were offering us, okay? So what I'm going to ask Brother Haru to do, because we already discussed this as well, is to read from, what's the name of this book? So,
Okay, I would like to read from, it's called The Willie Lynch Letter and the Making of a Slave. Okay.
and could you just tell me and the audience why you decided to read this particular part from the Willie Lynch letter?
Okay. The reason for that is because the mindset of our people is it's bad, because we have been in this white supremacy system for so long, and this Willie Lynch was a system to keep us enslaved. So I'd just like to read just a little segment from the Willie Lynch letter, and it's to explain why a lot of our people think the way they think and act the way they act. Okay, now it says, do not forget you must pitch the old black male versus the young black male, and the black male against the old black male. You must use dark-skinned slaves versus light-skinned slaves, and the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. You must use the female versus the male, and the female must have you must also have young white servants and overseers distrust all blacks. But it is necessary that your slaves' trust depend on us. They must love and respect and trust only us.
Let me see this, please. Okay. I'm going to ask you, could you read this part too? Because I want them to hear why they have the position that they have, or why they had the negative direct to what we did last week. Okay. On this side, it says, in my bag, that was stuff.
Okay. Okay. What do you want to hear?
I know I greened it all out. In my bag.
In my bag, you want to start it? Okay. It says, in my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black males. I guaranteed every one of you that have been installed correctly will control the slaves for at least 300 years. My method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves and will take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. Now that, so like I said, the reason for that is when the European through the transatlantic slave trade, you must have control. So therefore, you must have a system. And Willie Lynch was a system devised to keep us in control. And this is why a lot of our people, I hate to say it, but we still have a slave mentality.
Yes.
And this is the reason for a lot of the negative comments, which is okay because we understand why the negative comments, because of the Willie Lynch system.
Yeah, because you're still in that mode. You look past everything that was said on the last show. You look past the fact that I was actually taking up for our leaders, for people that have tried to, assist us in all of the struggle that we have been through. You look past all that. I had people commenting on how my face expressions were, that I rolled my eyes, I did this, I did that. And my whole thing is, if you took time out to look at me roll my eyes at the time that I was rolling my eyes, and you didn't like what I said, at that time you were probably rolling your eyes too. I had people call me out my name, and the only way you could even see that I was that way is if you were that way yourself. So I'm hoping that the person that called me the B word know that I think that you were the B word for calling me the B word. Okay. Now, I know this sounds very immature. It really does. But what I'm trying to say is we are stuck in this mode. You look past all the good things. You look past the fact that I asked those men, why are you here? What do you have to bring to our young men and women here in Wilmington? That was never answered. Do you remember that?
Yes. Well, what he said was, I will give them leadership.
From General Yohana.
Right. Okay.
But General Yohana wasn't even here, but okay.
Right. But the thing about it is, we need more than leadership. What is your economic plan?
Yes.
Okay. That's what we need, an economic plan, because that is the true power in this country. If you don't have economic power, you can yell, scream, you can cuss people out, you can say whatever you want, and they don't care.
That's right.
Because the reason for them attacking and coming after Elijah Muhammad, because he had a business plan.
Was telling the truth on
exactly.
a lot of things.
And the Black Panthers, they had a business plan. They were taking care of their community.
Yes.
And this is why they came under attack. So the European is not worrying about ISUPK or anybody. Now with ISUPK, when you start having an economic plan and start taking care of the community, then they're going to come after you. But right now, they're not worrying about you.
There were also comments about me saying that I have been and have studied a part of the Nuwaubian nation, the Islamic nation, the Moors, every part. Listen, if you were smart and your people were in each part, you would want to go there. You would want to be a part of it to see where your people are and what they're doing. Okay. Now, we are not religious people. Am I correct to say that?
Yes.
But it seems like we were attacked because ISUPK were, I guess, are Hebrew Israelites. First of all, there is no proof. Didn't we study this?
Yes.
There is no proof in history. There's no proof nowhere else that the Hebrews were ever in what we call Egypt now.
Right. There, like she said, there is no archaeological proof that the Hebrews were ever in Egypt or even enslaved.
Yes.
So if you cannot prove it scientifically or historically, then, you're just going by what somebody told you or some belief system. Because our people are more intelligent than that. Because we are great thinkers. We created everything, math, science, we created it all. And the Egyptians, they knew how our people were. So they wanted to leave them something, say, okay, they didn't want to just be a belief system. So they left pyramids.
They left
tombs,
proof
artifacts,
that there was
proof.
Something there prior to what we believe now.
Exactly.
Okay, or what we see now. Because if you think by any means that we built them pyramids and couldn't do it again, and we can't do it again, scientists have tried to see how those pyramids were made, and they can't figure it out. Okay, but you know, that's another subject.
Right.
The subject that I wanted to get on, if you don't mind, and
Sure.
I'm not, like I said, we're not religious people, but since we need to have to want to go there,
Right.
concerning this king, and I don't know why it has to be the King James Version, but this is the book that the so-called Israelites look into, that from my personal opinion, can't read. Okay, I'm not going to say all of them because I've spoken and heard of some that is actually reading the book correctly. But there is some, and I'm going to say it. ISUPK, no. I don't. I think that they're missing bits and pieces. And if you coming at our young people with the bits and pieces that you have and the parts that you are missing, okay, and then what makes it so bad, they're not even willing to sit down and compromise.
Right.
What you say has to be correct, and you can't be corrected. That's a problem.
Right.
Okay. First of all, let me start with the whole situation that we could just really, you know, people can go in the Bible, look like a whole bunch of stuff written, yellowed out, greened out. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Sense needs to be made out of nonsense. Our people are lost. The majority of our people are into Islam and Christianity. That's where our people are. The Christians aren't teaching the book correctly, and neither are the Muslims in their Quran because they're missing things. The fact is, Adam and Eve were not the first two people on this planet, on earth, okay? In the Bible, it states that Adam and Eve were formed. In the first part of Genesis, and if you want us to read it, we'll also read it. Would you like to read
Sure.
where it says about let us make man in our own image, and you know, or however it's worded.
Right.
I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. And here it is. Genesis 1:26.
Okay, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish and the sea, and over the fowl and the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that they let us make man, but that means man was here.
Right.
Now let's go to chapter 2.
Okay. Chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of dust of the ground, and breatheth into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul.
That's all. But did you see the difference?
Right.
One was let us make man.
Man, right.
Okay. The second one was let us form man. Now, last time that we had ISUPK here, what did I say? I said that I feel like Adam and Eve were the making of the white man.
Right.
I made that statement out of my mouth. The reason why, because what does the word Adam mean? I'm going to ask you, Brother Haru. Did you read what the word Adam mean in Hebrew?
Yes.
What does it mean?
The word Adam in Hebrew.
If you want to read it verbatim, so they won't, according to, you want to pull it up?
Let's read it.
It's on your phone.
Right.
Remember, we pulled it up.
Right. So
And we're going to do it in Hebrew, okay? So you'll comprehend what we're saying in Hebrew. So you'll see why I said what I said. And then if it doesn't, it would contradict the words of the so-called Hebrew Israelites. Okay.
the word Adam in Hebrew.
Here is your translation.
I remember I was reading and it said something about being red, ruddy.
Right.
I apologize for
Yeah,
the pause.
Right, cell phone. Verse.
And in the pauses, I'm quite sure you can take the pauses because you'll be commenting on this too.
Right, and that's fine. But we want to make sure that we get the correct translation, and we want to make sure that the people get the knowledge, because also you can go and research. And this
at home.
Right, and see, and this is what
it means red and ruddy though. The skin is red and ruddy.
Right. See, this is a problem with a lot of our people. They don't read, they don't study, and they don't research.
And make sure, if he cannot locate it, you look up the Hebrew word atom. And because this book was supposed to have been translated from Hebrew and Greek, am I correct to say that?
Right.
That's also what's been said to me from the Hebrew Israelites. Did you find it?
Yeah, hold on. It's the cell phones, you know, they're slow.
So. Making go on
okay,
slow.
here we go.
If not, I could try to find it on mine. Oh, here, I think I got it.
You have it?
Yeah,
because it's a lot of...
Wow, I can't believe this. I'm not getting any,
Yeah, plus bad reception in the Torah explains. Recording.
Well, anyway, either it's here nor there. The word does mean red skin and ruddy. And this is what they stated that, did you find it? Because
No.
I want to make sure that we give them
Right,
the correct definition where they could look it up themselves. That is real crazy because we just had it up.
Yes.
And you don't see it now?
No. Well,
Amen.
the thing is...
Adam, Hebrew word. Come on. It's the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's bad connection there. Well, mainly, like I said...
Oh, here it is.
Okay.
It could be ultimately delivered Hebrew, Adam meaning to be red, referring to ruddy color of human skin, or from, I can't even, you know, I don't have my glasses on. I can't see nothing.
Glasses on.
Here it is. What is that? Akkadian?
Right, I'll read it.
Okay.
Okay. The word Adam in Hebrew, it could mean ultimately derived from Hebrew, meaning to be red, referring to the ruddy color of human skin, or from Akkadian Adamu, meaning to make. According to Genesis, the Old Testament, Adam was created from the earth by God. There is a word.
That's enough.
It's okay.
Because the situation is I was told by the Hebrew Israelites, okay, that the Edomites were white people, okay. At the time that we spoke on it, I said that's impossible. That was impossible. But now I went on a study, me myself. I went on a study, and when I went on a study, I found that kind of didn't make any sense. But if the one brother Jacob came out red and ruddy, he could. You know why? Because he's descendant from Adam and Eve. Now keep in mind, this is from 1611. In the old Bibles, Eve didn't even exist.
Exactly.
She wasn't even in any Bible prior. This the Bible she in, the King James Version. But she was not in any Bible that was older than that. First of all, what I'm saying is too much confusement, okay? But what they're failing to, excuse me, let me turn this off. What they are failing to realize, excuse me, lost my train of thought. Touch that phone. Somebody's calling.
Right.
What they're failing to realize is this is the King James Version, but there's a whole bunch of other versions concerning the so-called Bible.
Right.
And if you don't know how to read the Bible, there's no need in bringing it here to us. We need to leave it alone.
Exactly.
We need to leave it alone if we do not know how to, you know, read it. It's just like when they read it, and people really believe that Adam and Eve walked up to a tree and talked to a snake.
Right.
In Ezekiel, it says that the snake represented a tribe. The trees represented tribes of people,
right.
family, and the snake was represented a tribe.
But like I say, you have Christians and Jehovah's Witnesses believing that Adam and Eve were the first people. But if you read in Genesis chapter 4, starting at verse 14, when Cain killed Abel, okay, he was afraid that somebody was going to kill him in the land of Nod.
Right.
And this is where he found his wife.
Okay.
In the land of Nod.
Right.
So if Adam and Eve were supposedly the first people on the planet, where did these people in Nod come from? And the woman that Cain married, she was older than Eve.
Yes.
And then there were 5 generations from Cain. And then
before Seth was even born, like a whole century done went by. But what they need to read when they go back in there is all these chapters in here that okay, first of all, I done wrote down so much getting to what I gotta get to. When I said that Esau was not of the white Edomites, from what I am reading, Esau was the Arabs, because the Bible never speaks on Esau being a stranger. The whole Bible, when it's speaking on Esau, it's his brother. Now, we do know that Jacob stole his brother's heritage. What he was, the gift that the father was supposed to give to Esau, Jacob dressed up like he was Esau because the dad was old. It was Isaac, if I'm not mistaken. And he stole his brother's gift that he was supposed to get from his father. Okay, he's mad at his brother now. It's always 2 brothers, Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau. It's always 2 brothers against each other. We can even go to Osiris and Seth. His brother. It's always 2 brothers against each other. But needless to say, as the story goes on, Esau is mad. He hates his brother. So he's saying that I'm going to get you for what you did to me. You understand? Right. So it's been this fight against the Israel people and the Palestinian people. It's been this constant fight. And I have so many different chapters in here that is showing, and it does not show at all that Esau was from the white. Now, what it did show, they're forgetting about Ham. Ham, it states from the 3 sons of Noah. Let's just make it plain, too. The flood did not wipe out the whole entire world. It was a small part, because we know darn well from them 3 people, the whole world was made from them.
Well, really, it was 8 people.
Well, I mean, for the 3 sons, the 3 wives, it was 8. You're correct.
Right, but how can you come off a boat with 8 people and just redevelop knowledge from just 8 people?
No, redevelop a whole world.
Right, exactly.
I mean, the world was soaked with water. The world was soaked with water, supposedly.
Right.
So that means everything was drowned out and, so, but
you
they'll come up with this mysterious, but
right.
God just, they'll come with this mysterious, but we're talking about God, so God just put trees and everything back off when they got off the boat.
Right. You have to redevelop. You have to redevelop.
Where did they
knowledge.
get the tools from to make the pyramids? Were the pyramids there prior to? Matter of fact, the Bible don't even speak on the making of the pyramids.
Right. The pyramids aren't even mentioned
in the Bible.
Right. So if and also if the Hebrews claim to have built the pyramids, right? Why would you travel from your land to some other person's land and build monumental structures? You would build that in your own land. Okay? The Great Wall of
Right.
China is in China, right? You know, the Autobahn, one of the most spectacular roadways ever built, was built by the Germans. It's in Germany.
Yes.
Okay, so you never leave your land, go to someone else's land, and build monuments.
Well, here's the thing. My whole thing is, how are we Hebrews? How can you prove that we are Hebrews? And here's the situation. Remember, Cain killed Abel.
Right.
Cain went to Nod and found a wife. People were already on the land.
Right, exactly.
So why is it that we have to be Hebrews?
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't we be related to the people that were already on the lands?
They were already in existence.
How can you say, oh, you're just Hebrews?
Mm-hmm.
That absolutely makes no kind of sense.
And also, what people don't understand is the Bible has been extrapolated, plagiarized from pyramid and coffin texts. Because, see, if you don't read other studies, other literature, you're not going to know that. See, this book was designed to keep you trapped in that book, so you don't seek
and was used to keep us in slavery.
Exactly.
This book was actually used in so many, Leviticus 25:45 through 46, Exodus 21, 7 through 11, and then in the New Testament, Jesus don't even talk against slavery.
Right, and even in the Hebrew alphabet, there is no J in the Hebrew alphabet. So
this is the one. That
and it
really
didn't come in.
me.
The letter J didn't come into existence until the late 1600s. So what were you calling them then? And then where is your original text?
Yes.
Where is that? You don't come in with. You don't read from the original text because you know it's not in English. You come in with some made up, extrapolated, plagiarized from pyramid and coffin text, which was 4,000 to 5,000 years prior to this Bible.
This book even,
right,
but
exactly.
It's translated.
Right.
For some words that we use in English, they don't even have in Arabic, Aramaic, Hebrew, Greek. They don't even have the words. So they put words in to fit.
Right.
But here's the other thing that I'm saying that they used to get me, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I love my son to death. I love the ground my son walks on and all my brothers, and I am the daughter of Willie Lynch. I love him, okay? When I read, and every time I read it, it still gives me chills. Why I did it, I cried when I did it, and the fact that I was letting it happen, and I'm very overprotective of my kids. You can't even look wrong at my kids, I want to hurt you. When it says that God made a covenant with Abraham to circumcise his family, his son was almost grown. I never for the life of me got with why the Almighty God would make man come in the world with foreskin and then tell you to cut it off.
Cut it off, right.
I, for the life of me, if somebody could tell me how and why that made any sense, for what reason?
Well,
what was God gonna get off of you? I mean, you can't even push up against it.
Right.
For the life of me, I don't understand that.
Right. Well, see, like I said, the problem is we, as a people, have been disconnected from our culture for so long. See, in order for you to enslave a people, you have to take them from their land,
their culture,
strip them from their culture,
their God,
their deities, just totally take everything they are and then replace it with your way of life and your deities or whatever you want to call it. So now we are still stuck to this day, because I can't believe in 2016 that we are in the age of Aquarius, the age of information. In 2016, we still
don't get it,
and we still are reading and still following the life, and trying to live your life through this book that was plagiarized.
What? Forced on us. That's forced on us through slavery.
Right.
We knew nothing about a Mary, Joseph, Jesus, none of them before slavery.
Right. Because we had a spiritual culture.
And the more we stay in this book, it's like we're staying in the book like we haven't gotten over it. Like we still are getting those whips on our backs and making us and forcing us to accept what is in this book. I don't understand it. None of it makes mental sense. We're not sitting up here thinking about why is the book so like a puzzle. Why do you want to believe that this almighty God that we supposed to trust in has no mercy for us?
Right.
I mean, when I think of the slaves, and they calling on this God that this white man has given us, and no, God never comes to your rescue, even to this day.
So why would you follow?
We are still calling on this God that never comes to our rescue.
And see, and back in slavery, you know the slaves prayed day in and day out for God to bring them out of that condition they were in for over 400 years. Never never prayers go unanswered. So why should I, and why should we as a people trust a God that you can't talk to, right? No one has ever seen, and when you pray, He doesn't answer your prayer.
None of them.
So if you want to call on your help, you call on your ancient ancestors.
Yes.
That's where your true power is.
Yes.
So if you want to, right, because you call on your ancestors who've already passed, your grandmother or your people in your family, your ancestors. Those are the ones that you call on. That's where your true power is. That's where your power lies, in your ancestors.
Yes.
Not in somebody. Because if you're calling on someone who's not a part of your culture, of course they're not going to answer you. Because it's not a part of you.
It doesn't make nothing.
Right.
I was, like I said, I have been through the different schools. I've seen the different things. And just to let the listening audience know, I called Sakina Hetchet.
Right.
And I asked her to call Dr. York's son. Because I don't want to speak for someone. I want someone to come here and speak for themselves. So just to let you know, Dr. York's son will be coming on, Prince York.
Right.
We will have him on the show. We're going to have Polite on the show. I've been trying to call Seti so Seti can come here. Wilmington needs to, our minds need to be opened up.
Right.
This book needs to be
thrown in the trash.
Exposed.
Right.
It needs to be exposed. It's so many things in this book that will contradict your whole mind. I told you the book was actually scaring me.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's really, really crazy.
But a lot of, like I said, a lot of the good principles, because you have to put some truth into the lie. Okay, so a lot of the principles from the pyramid in the coffin text. But if you don't read it and you don't know how to read the Bible, or if you've never read the pyramid or the coffin text, you wouldn't know. So you were thinking, well, that's the word of God. But no, that's been plagiarized.
But first, these people can't even. You can't even say what God is.
Right.
I mean, I want one of y'all to explain God. And I mean, God to me is a position, a higher position. You understand? I believe it's a Greek word. It's a Greek word that comes from good or something. But what I'm saying is, explain it. Are you just dealing with the way, you know, because, you know, the definition of God that the slave masters have given you? I mean, really, seriously, think about that.
Right.
You know what? I'm going to say it like this, because I was saying it in one of the other shows. God and Santa Claus are just alike. God got angels. Santa Claus got elves. Santa Claus knows when you've been sleeping, knows when you've been good or bad. If you be good, you get a present. If you be bad, you're not going to get nothing for Christmas. God's sitting up on his throne. Santa Claus is sitting up on his throne. Same thing with God. If you be good, you're going to heaven. If you be bad, you're going to hell. All of it, it's just like the same little stories. Big old beard sitting up on a crown, white man, you know, the same attributes.
Right, but see, and then also when you talk to a lot of religious people, and I ask them, I says, well, any of those people in the Bible, where are they buried at? Can't tell you. You know,
none of them.
Can't tell you.
That's the crazy part.
And if you were in Egypt for over 400 years, right? What did you take out of Egypt? And you mean to tell me you have no ancient burial grounds for your kings and prophets. So, like I said, what did you take out of Egypt? And these were the people that you pattern your life after and you follow. So you mean to tell me you couldn't find not one burial ground of Moses, Adam, Eve, John, Paul, Jacob, Mary, any of them? But yet you can go in museums around the world and see Egyptian culture.
Yes, with the people's bodies still in them.
Right, and there have been, they found bones of a woman for 5 million years old. So you mean to tell me if they can find the bones of a woman 5 million years old, you can find fossils of dinosaurs, but you can't find not one of those people in the bed.
Especially good old Jesus.
Oh yeah, well no, because Jesus died and rose to heaven, so you know you can't prove that, you know. So
I'm saying people wake up. That's what I'm saying. People wake up. If you continue this, that means you are continually being a slave. You are. Why don't we just give them back all their stuff, all the things that we got through slavery, and just start our own stuff up?
Because a lot of the people can't. Because like I read the Willie Lynch system. You know, we are still suffering to this. I mean, like I said, the system was devised to keep the enslaved generation after generation after generation. I mean, slavery didn't happen overnight, so it's not going to be fixed overnight. But I'm sorry, Haru, even if they want to go by the book, even if you want to go, you got, like you said, you got to get other books to make things fit. But you can't, you got to be able to read it. Right. It's symbolic. It says it in Galatians 4:24, I think. Let me find it in Galatians where it tells you that it's allegory. Right. You're not supposed to take it literal.
What's the definition allegory? Symbolic. Means that it means something different. You know, I don't understand it, but I'm going to just go ahead on in here and just pull it up and let you go and see it for yourself.
Right. And a lot of times,
what it says in Galatians.
Right. A lot of times, family, you have to research, you have to study. You know, you just can't, because if you just believe in something, just for the simple fact of somebody's telling, then you really don't know. Because wouldn't you rather know than just believing? You know, like I said, our people are more intelligent than that. But this, like I said, this book was designed to keep you trapped.
Yes.
So you don't read pyramid coffin text.
So you don't look up the truth.
Right.
I mean, did you see the part that got me was let us make man.
Right.
You speak on God in singular. So if you speak on God as singular, then what was he talking to? You know what some fool told me? He's talking to the angels. He needed his elves to help him.
Yeah, because I was talking
God needed the angels to help him. So that's their excuse. God said, come on, y'all. I need you to help me make these people.
Right.
Because, you know, hey.
It's a story.
What it is we made them.
Right.
Let's just keep it 100.
But this book.
We made them.
Right.
Let us make man in our own image. They were made and formed by us. Okay? And we told them, don't go over there talking to them. Go over there, don't go, because they're going to tell them something. These just the new people, you know what I'm saying, that we done formed. Y'all done heard the Yaqub stories and everything. We made them. Right. Okay? Because you know it also says the men of God went into the women of man. The men of God went into the women of the man, the women that were man-made. The men of God were the men that were already on the earth. The men of God went into, had sex with. I mean, really.
Right. But see, our people don't study.
I mean, it's quite. Cain went and found himself a black woman and had sex with her, and the mulatto kids, and that's how all the different races and everything. And then Seth did the same thing, because if you believe Adam and Eve was the white people,
right?
And if you believe that they didn't go find women, they did,
right? And they were already there.
Yes.
Already there. In the land of Nod.
Let's make sense out of nonsense. Here, if you read the book, you just can't guess what, you know what I'm saying? It just don't make sense. It'll make you be like, huh?
Right, but you have to read it. You have to read it, and then you have to know how to read it. And then you also, like you said, you also have to read other literature, like you said, to make it fit. Because if you're just trapped in this book and you don't read other literature in other cultures, you're just going to just believe. But this book is designed to do that.
Right, but it's
right.
a for instance.
Right.
It's an example. You know, it's parables. And there's different codes where you can find different things. I'll give that to the book. But I'm telling you, sure as I'm sitting here, it was 3 sons left. If you want to believe that, that the entire world was to be destroyed by the flood, okay? If you want to believe that. 3 boys, Ham, Shem, and Japheth.
Right.
Japheth, or whatever anybody want to call them, okay? If you want to, I need you to go in Genesis and read the sons. You can read the sons. It straight up says that Ham was the father of Canaan, which we know Canaan is Africa,
right.
northeast.
Exactly.
Straight up, and it says in the book that he did not put the sheet over top of his father. Noah drunk. Chosen Noah was drunk. And he was laid out just drunk. He drank the wine. He was drunk. Noah was laid out. So Ham looked in the room and said, went and told his brothers. They walked in the room with a sheet behind to hide the father's shame.
Right.
So when he woke up, he noticed what happened. And he said, well, you know, oh, Ham, you didn't want to put the sheet over top of me? Okay, so you didn't want to put the sheet over top of me? So you curse.
Right.
So you going to serve for your 2 brothers, okay? When you start doing the line of the 2 brothers, because it already said Ham was the father of Africa, so they didn't even like really focus on that, because you the father of Africa.
Right.
The other 2 brothers, Shem and Japheth, whatever his name, Japheth, or whatever. His kid's name was Gomer and stuff. Now you know where that's from, the Greeks and the Romans and all them.
Right.
Then you got the other brother. He's the father. He said that God said that he cursed him after a while and said that your lineage. I'm trying to remember whether he cursed him or he just said that his lineage would be the sword. They will with the sword.
But if you notice, all the black people in the Bible are cursed.
Okay, but wait a minute, hold up there. According to the Hebrew Israelites, they were black.
Right.
They were all black. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, they came off the seed of Adam and Eve, okay? There was Seth's seed, and there was Seth's seed and Cain, because Abel didn't get a chance to have a seed. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to you is the covenant that was made with Abraham, he said to Abraham that I am making this covenant with you and your seed and their seed. Okay? And anybody can pick up Genesis if you want me to give you the little chapters.
But let's talk about Moses. Okay.
Good old Moses.
Good old Moses. Good old Moses. Now, he spent years in Egypt.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Let me make sure I read this first.
Okay.
And we can go, just because I don't want to,
Yeah, right.
Okay. Let me put on my glasses. And for the lady that kept on coming on my page saying that she was rolling her eyes. It says in Galatians 4.
You know they're going to say something about that.
Oh, they're going to say something about that.
Right?
But that's okay, because we already read why are you saying stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm going to say, it says, tell me, ye that desire to be under the law, do ye not hear the law? For it is written that Abraham had 2 sons, one of the bondmaid and the other of the free woman. But he was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was born by the promise. Which things are allegory? For these are 2 covenants. The one from Mount Sinai, one represents Mount Sinai, gendereth to bondage. Now we already know which is Hagar. Because remember, Hagar was the one that from the flesh.
Right.
Okay. Okay. For Hagar is Mount Sinai in where? Arabia. Arabia. And answereth to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of all of us. I'm trying to get to the part where it's talking about the other wife. The wife, he had two wives, because one wife, I'm saying, she couldn't wait, so she let her girl get with her husband. Where they do that at? Not happening. But anyway, with the part that I did want to make sure that you got with was allegory.
Right.
Which means they mean something different. This is a funny session to me.
Yeah.
I'm making jokes up because to me, you know what I mean, it's better to express myself this way than to express myself any other way. And everybody that knows me know that I can express myself a different way. So I'm going to make a joke out of all the comments that was made, okay? And I'm hoping that our people take a look at this situation and decipher it for themselves. Read it yourself. Don't go by nothing nobody else say. Start from Genesis all the way to Revelations. And look up definitions of words in Hebrew, in Greek, and in English.
Right. Because it was all translated.
It was all translated. For
right.
some of the words, there is no word in English. You understand? They don't even have a word for freedom. And some,
well, English is the English that we're speaking. It's a put together language from other different languages. I mean, this is like Ebonics, really, because like I said, this isn't our native tongue. Because when we were over there in the motherland, we didn't speak English. Okay, we were taught this.
Right.
So.
And the thing is, we are asking for anybody who, who doesn't like what we're saying, or anybody who wants to come on the show. You're welcome.
Welcome.
This is just to try to help us learn more, or want to learn more about ourselves. But we don't need no lies and some confused stories. You know what I mean? Then you just getting further back. Did anyone see the movie Shaka Zulu? Did you see it?
Yes. Old movie, but people need to see that movie.
Do you know why? Because the man came over and introduced the Bible to Shaka. We had never seen it before.
Right. We've never seen people before.
When was the first Bible written that I can even account to? Printed 1375. I think it was like 1375.
13 or 1475.
What they need to do is actually do the time frame back on when the Europeans came over and colonized the different parts of Africa.
Right.
Okay.
And it has a copyright date on it. Like all these books has, let's see when this was copyrighted.
But we keep saying that the book is plagiarized and stolen from other information. You understand what I'm saying? Mary, Joseph, and Jesus is really Osiris, Heru, and Osset. It's simple as that. The Cain and Abel story came from Osiris and Heru. I don't know what we got a problem with. I really do not understand. It's like believing in their books is like saying that they're before us. Believing in their books is just saying that they're above us. Right.
And see, we were led to believe that our history started from slavery. And, that's what we were taught. But see,
6,000 years though, only 6,000. That is the whole lifespan of the European.
Exactly, because these are 6,000 years. Exactly. But it says here, copyright 1990, Goodwill Publishing Inc. Special contents of this edition, copyright 1960, 1963, 1965 by J.G. Ferguson Publishing Company. Okay, so they done changed it, and then some Bibles have second and third edition.
They are forgetting the time frame on the Europeans coming over into Africa. I mean, really, I think that they should get Dr. Williams' books.
And then check when the transatlantic slave trade started. So then you can just start putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
Right.
You know.
When they came over, and the book's told. Now the book do tell you in Deuteronomy about the slave trading and why and how. And the part is that really is Esau, which became the Arab religion, helped the white men. They were the first slave traders. They were the first ones to put their brother. That's why God, according to this book, had started disliking him. It was because he went against his brother and helped put his brother's people in slavery. You understand? Because we know for a fact that the Arabs were the first and some of the worst slave traders, and they still to this day have slaves.
Right, and they were instrumental in putting us into slavery.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Putting us in slavery and putting us in slavery to the white man. This is what we're saying. What I'm saying, people, is if you go and read the book and you're going to understand the book, then you need to read it properly, and you need to read it with some people that make sense out of it, not somebody that's just listening to General Yohana, listening, and they never picked the book up and read it their own selves.
Right. And
just
even your
picking little
pastor.
parts of the book out. Okay, if you want to say that Esau was the white man, well, so was Adam, because Adam came out ruddy and red too.
Right.
And so was King David. I think he came out ruddy and red too.
Right.
It was other people in the Bible that came out ruddy and red. Now, the only way they can come out ruddy and red if everybody else is black is if somebody in their family was white.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I put money on it. Adam and Eve was white man.
Right.
So this was our session tonight.
But before we do that, let's before we end, let's talk about good Moses.
Oh, my boy.
Let's talk about good Moses.
Go ahead.
Now, like I said, now Moses, right, was living in the land of Egypt. Okay, he was taught, studied there. So then,
You mean where all the prophets went, including Jesus, according to the book?
Of course.
All of them went through
Right.
bad Egypt.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And it says in here, I am the Lord thy God from the land of Egypt.
Yes.
But good Moses. Now, if you want to believe the story, the reason that good Moses.
He said he was the God of Egypt.
Right.
Remember? Okay, that's in the Bible too.
Right. Now, he had to flee Egypt because he killed Pharaoh's soldier. Right? So.
But he was the son of Pharaoh.
Well.
I mean, but I know he was a Hebrew, but at the same time, he was led for everybody to believe that he was a prince of Egypt. So you mean to tell me that a prince of Egypt killed somebody and then had to flee?
Right. But why are you running? Because according to the story, he didn't receive the 10 Commandments until after he fled Egypt.
Even though the 42 negative confessions.
Of my.
Okay.
Right. Well, I'm going to get to that. So when he left, so if you didn't receive the 10 Commandments until after you left, why are you running? The reason why you run, if you want to believe the story, the reason why he fled, because he broke one of the laws of Ma'at.
Yes.
That's why he ran.
Yes.
If you want to believe the story.
And that, from my understanding, it wasn't no pharaohs in Egypt.
Right.
I mean, you got to understand that these are Johnny-come-lately names.
Right.
And Mecca and all them places over there now, that was all at one time a Kibulan. That was all Kemet. That was all black land.
Right. Right, because Africa.
And the reason why Esau's descendants are over there is because they feel as though that they were supposed to be over there too. And the reason why Japheth, how you saying his name, Jaffer, people is going in there, the white people, which I'm telling you now, the white people come off the lineage according to this book. Even though I don't fool with the book, I took because that's where my people are at.
Right. Well, you have to just
The
accept
white
it
people
just to make a point.
Yes, that's the only reason why.
Right.
Because I'm trying to make a point.
Right.
If you want to look at it that way.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But what I want them to do is go back in the book and reread. Just reread. And you can stop. You want to read this one more time as to let them know before we go out, because I know this was a crazy session, and I know we're going to get a lot of comments, a lot of rude comments.
And
but we know why.
Right.
We know why you're making the comments. Right here, it's in this book. This is why, but you have to get out of it. Don't backbite, slander, or call your sister names or your brother names, Because we're doing this because we love you. We honestly and seriously love you, want you to come out of the darkness and into the light. Stop being a zombie, walking dead.
Right.
You
Wake
know,
up.
you have to start reading. So I'm sorry if you don't like all the things that we said, my rolling of my eyes and, you know, the way I am and the way Brother Haru is. The situation is we still going to come on and we still going to do it.
Right.
And we still going to help the community and we still going to have programs. We going to have the Black Panther Party here.
Right.
We're going to have SETI here, Sa-Netta,
Exactly.
everybody that we can, Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Ali Muhammad. If you want to contact us, you can contact us. We have a page on Facebook. Just look us up. But just stop all the nonsense. All right.
Like I said, because like I said, we
over.
understand why you
Yeah.
act the way you act, and
Yeah.
and we have nothing but love for you. This is why we're doing this, because I'm race first. I don't care about any other race other than our own. Because at the end of the day, we're all we got.
That's right.
And the
I
only
love
people that's
the
going to
black
fix
man,
us
and
is
I love
us.
the position of the black man. And yes, I do feel like the black woman is God,
Of course.
the supreme being. I'm sorry that people can't get with that, but we'll get with that on the next show.
Right.
Thank you for being with us tonight. Anything else you want to say to
I
our
would just,
listening audience?
well, I'd just like to
Brother?
say to our people, wake up. Wake up. Put this Bible down. Start reading other literatures. Start exploring, because it says in here it is a sin not to seek knowledge. And we are the most intelligent people on the planet. But we're still stuck in this European white supremacy.
Yes.
So once you start reading and start broaden your mind, then you will.
But remember, we said we're going to go on our page and we're going to put all these different chapters because we didn't have enough time to go through
so you can read it. So you can read it
that
yourself.
show you.
Right.
You can read them yourself. I'll make it easy for you. You can go online and see the different ones where you can see who you are in this book and who Esau is in this book and who Japheth. Jaffer. You know, he's a white man.
Right. So.
All right. Thank you for being with us tonight on Talk Black to Me. We're your hosts. I'm Sister Freedom.
And I'm
He's Brother Haru.
And
And
like
we'll
I said,
see you again next week.